What's up, YouTube? This your boy, the Travel Trucker, man. We back with another video. Hey, do me a favor, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like this video, cut the notification bell on over there in that corner, comment down below, man. Well, man, we made it to another month. We're more than halfway through 2025, man. And if you live in Florida, Georgia, a lot of the southern states, today, July 1st, means what? A lot of new laws went into effect. So, as a CDL driver, you have no excuse not to know what the laws is, because you are the most susceptible person to getting pulled over and ruining your life on the road because you have a commercial driver license. So, after the intro, we're going to go through the list of new laws going into effect today in Florida. And if you live in a state other than Florida, drop a comment below. I'll do another video to follow this one in the next coming days about your state. Y'all got to comment down below and let me know. So let's start the video. Here we go, man. We back on the internet. We did a simple Google search of this new Florida laws July 1st, and we went with the Tallahassee Democrat. This is obviously a major news source. They're based out of Tallahassee, the capital of Florida, and they have published an article about the nearly 150 new Florida laws that went into effect today. And here's a list on which ones are important and what they all mean. Now, obviously, for time constraints, we're not going to go through all 150, but we're going to check out the bread and butter. I'm assuming they got it at the top, and we'll go from there. But as a CDL truck driver, you have to pay attention to this stuff more than anybody, because, like I say, a lot of this stuff they be coming up with is the BAMU. So let's get into it, man. All right. So far, DeSantis has vetoed 6 bills. If you know who that is the governor of Florida. He vetoed 6 of them. We ain't gonna get into those. Here is one right here. Here are the new Florida laws now in effect. This list does not include some regional or individual relief bills. Senate Bill 56, geoengineering and weather modification activities. What it does, prohibits geoengineering and weather modification activities, makes releasing chemicals into the atmosphere for the express purpose of affecting the temperature, weather, climate, and intensity of sunlight a third-degree felony with jail terms up to 5 years and fines up to $100,000. Requires creation of a helpline where people can report suspected geoengineering and weather modification activities. Requires airports to make monthly reports. What it means for you: residents will be able to report chemtrails, no more rain seeding. Now, I'm not one of them conspiracy theorists, guys, but that's crazy work. All right, here's another one. Health facilities. What it does: expands the definition of health facility to include certain nonprofit organizations, allows health facilities authorities to make and execute loan agreements, to refund outstanding bonds, to refund certain debts issued, and other financial powers. What it means for you: larger pool of health facilities, empowered officials. Hazardous walking conditions. What it does: revises the criteria that determine hazardous walking conditions for public school students. What it means for you: under the law, school districts provide transportations for students up to grade 6 if there are hazardous walking conditions on walkways parallel to the road to and from school, and they work with local governments to address the problem. This bill adds walkways that are along limited access facilities such as highways, freeways, and ramps. Bill 106, exploitation of vulnerable adults. What it does: simplifies the process to obtain an injunction to protect the vulnerable adult from exploitation. So if you know somebody who needs help from people taking advantage of, this is the bill for them. Makes it easier to stop a proposal and initiated transfer of funds or property from a vulnerable adult to someone who can't be identified. Administrative procedures. What it does: amends the Administrative Procedures Act to update the rulemaking process and mandate an agency review of existing rules. What it means for you: clarifies time limits for rules not ratified by the legislature when emergency rules expire. Regulation of presidential libraries prohibits any local government from passing or enforcing any ordinance, resolution, rule, or other measure concerning a presidential library or imposing any requirement or restriction on it. Pointless. Compensation of victims of wrongful incarceration. Now, this is a good one, guys. Amends the Victims of Wrongful Incarceration Compensation Act to remove the bar to compensation for a petitioner who has been convicted of a violent felony or multiple nonviolent felonies before or during the wrongful conviction and incarceration. Extends the filing deadline for a petition from 90 days to within 2 years after the person's conviction is vacated and criminal charges dismissed. If that person on or after July 1st, 2025. Retroactively allows a person to file to be determined a wrongfully incarcerated person eligible for compensation by July 1st, 2027 under specified circumstances. Blocks a deceased person's heirs or successors or assigns from filing a petition on the deceased person's behalf. So you can't be dead and get that money. Mental Health, Brian Murphy Act. What it does: establishes a model process for local governments to divert mentally ill inmates from jail to treatment. Named the Tristan Murphy Act after 37-year-old inmate with schizophrenia who killed himself with a chainsaw in 2021 while on prison work detail. Also provides law enforcement officers with crisis intervention team training. Established the Florida Behavioral Health Care Data Repository to collect and analyze existing statewide data related to behavioral health care in the state. What it means for you: inmates with mental illness, intellectual disability, or autism may be evaluated and provided services in a community setting instead of incarceration when feasible. All right, here's the whole Emergency Act. Allows departments of environmental protection to waive or reduce the beach management project match requirements for counties impacted by erosion caused by Hurricane Debbie, Helene, or Milton. It's just an emergency act, man, to make information more readily accessible. Where's there another one? Farm products redefines farm product to include plants and plant products, whether they're edible or not. It prevents local governments from passing rules or regulations regarding farms' collection, storage, processing, and distribution of farm products on agricultural land. Here's another big bill, guys. Student participation in interscholastic and intrascholastic extracurricular sports. What does this mean? Allows any homeschool student to participate in an interscholastic athletic team at any public school in the school district in which the student resides. Allows qualified private school students to participate in an interscholastic public school athletic team if the private school does not offer the sport. Adds reporting requirements. The bill expands the option for homeschooled and private school students to play on interscholastic or intrascholastic athletics at Florida high school member schools. Aggravated animal cruelty, guys. Dexter's Law requires the state to create and maintain a public database of people who have been found or pleaded guilty to cruelty to animals. Adds a multiplier for aggravated animal cruelty for sentencing purposes. Services that offer pet adoption will be able to screen applicants to avoid handing over animals to someone guilty of animal cruelty. Violators will get harsher sentences. Special observances. Fentanyl Awareness Day designates August 21st as Fentanyl Awareness Day. The Department of Health and the Department of Children and Families, local governments and public schools, and other agencies are encouraged to sponsor events to promote awareness of dangers of fentanyl and potential overdoses. Here's another big one, guys. Trust. Amends the Florida Trust Code to clarify existing law about trust decanting, pouring trust assets into a new trust. What it means for you: aligns the Florida Trust Code with the Florida Probate Code. Clarifies who can create or fund a second trust to make distributions to beneficiaries who can bring actions on behalf of a beneficiary and other specifics. Guys, get your insurance together. I can't stress this enough, man. Please, please, please get your insurance together. Uh-oh. Here's another one. Now, where's another one? Oh, false reporting, swatting. What it does, the law already considers swatting to be a first degree misdemeanor. This bill also makes it a crime to get someone else to do it for you. If the swatting call results in severe injury, it becomes a third degree felony. If someone dies as a result of a second degree felony, convicted swatters will also have to pay restitution. What it means for you: if convicted of swatting or you plead guilty, you have to pay restitutions to the victim as well as all expenses incurred by the agencies that responded and the cost of prosecution investigations. So all you guys doing that swatting for clicks and stuff on YouTube, them police departments from the back charging for all them cop hours. Boating safety, Lucy's Law increases penalties for reckless boating and mandates boating education. Boy, it is not playing on the water, boy. Woo, woo. Bro, if you get convicted of manslaughter on a watercraft, you will be sentenced to a mandatory minimum of 4 years in prison. Okay. Middle school and high school start times allows the school district to comply with new requirements for later school start times by providing a report listing start times for all schools in the district, documentation of district plans to implement new times, the impact of those changes, and any unintended consequences. What it means for you: Florida changed school start times as of July 1st to no earlier than 8 a.m. for middle school and no earlier than 8:30 for high school. This allows district students to postpone the deadline while it provides the state with feedback on the costs and benefits. Here's another one: bonuses for employees of property appraisers. What it does, allows county property appraisers to offer hiring or retention bonuses if approved by the Department of Revenue. Possibly a bonus if you're applying for working for a county property appraiser. Okay, here's another one: limited liability companies. Big one, guys, for all you business owners. Amends the Florida Revised Limited Liability Company Act to allow for the creation of protected series limited liabilities under Florida law. What it means for you: recognizes protected series LLCs that cover a series of assets without having to form an LLC for each one. In Florida, for the first time without requiring paperwork for each series, allows protected series LLC information in Florida. Property rights. You know, they got all this stuff, man. This is insane. What is this? The Stolen Valor Act. Oh, dangerous excessive speeding, guys. Here you go. Creates a criminal offense called dangerous excessive speeding, defined as exceeding the speed limit by 50 miles per hour or more, reckless driving faster than 100 miles per hour. What this means for you: first-time offenders will see penalties of up to 30 days in jail or a $500 fine, while a second and subsequent offense could mean up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Speeders caught too often could lose their license for up to a year. So that's the new law about the speeding, guys. Don't say I ain't put y'all on beat, man. And that's all we're going to review, man. If you're looking to get a full list of all 150 new laws, man, just type in Google 150 new laws in Florida for this year, and it'll pop up. But I strongly urge you guys, whether you're a truck driver or just somebody in society, to familiarize and be abreast of all these updates and changes. I'm sure one of these laws affects you, because I know they affect me. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Stay safe.